Hey everyone, it's Chris here to film one of my favorite videos of the year. It's my most anticipated LGBTQ plus book releases for 2019. So I'm filming this at the end of January, so some of the books on the list are already going to be out. I also will have some of the books on this list already because I have arcs of some of these books. So I'll be able to say a bit more about ones I've already read. And I will have all of the books listed in the description down below with links to their Goodreads pages, hopefully in the order that they are coming out to make it easy for everyone. But yeah, I'm super excited to be filming this. Right now outside, you can see there's some sunlight, which is great, but also it's like -13, and with wind chill it's like -37, so it's polar vortex day. But luckily my apartment is very well insulated. We got some good heating in here, but like I stepped out into the hall a few minutes ago and it was like a whole different scenario, and I took off my sweater for this video because this kind of clashed with it, but we might have to film this fast because if I start getting cold, that's all I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, let's just jump into it. I'm not wearing my Velcro cape. I have a better cape than this one. It's actually like a rainbow cape, but like I couldn't find it, so here we are. So we're just jump right into this. The first book I'm going to talk about doesn't have a release date yet, not like a month in time, but it's supposed to be releasing this year as of what I know so far, and it's Only Mostly Devastated. This is like a gay Grease that kind of feel about. It's about a kid who meets the guy over summer, and then he ends up moving to that town, and going to the same school as the guy, and the guy acts like he doesn't exist. It's very Grease and gay, and I was like, I'm here for this. Next one up, which has a cover, Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell, is the sequel to Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, which is still the only Rainbow Rowell book that I've read. Ollie from the book draw got me to read it, and it was fantastic. I loved it, so I'm super excited for the sequel. Still not going to read Fangirl. Don't know if I'm going to be reading any other Rainbow Rowell books, but I definitely will be reading the sequel to Carry On. The third book in the Timekeeper series by Tara Sum. I've only read Timekeeper, but I have Chainbreaker on my shelf. I've just been putting it off. So maybe I'll finally read it now that Firestarter is out. I'm very interested in continuing the series. I really liked Timekeeper when I read it. The Whispers by Greg Howard. This is one of the books that I already have out from the library. I put a hold on it before it even came out, and it's already in transit to me right now, so I'll be able to pick it up soon. The Whispers is a middle grade book by Greg Howard, and I don't really know much about The Whispers except for the reason I really wanted to read this was because I really enjoyed Greg Howard's last book, Social Intercourse, which was a lot more adult. It was a young adult book that did not shy away with gay characters, that did not shy away from sex or anything like that at all. And I thought the book was so good, and now him writing a middle grade was very intriguing to me. And I read the concept of this one, and it seems a little dark and a little fantasy, and I'm very here for it. So I'm excited for this one a lot. I'm definitely excited to read. This is going to be my second Greg Howard book. Hopefully I enjoy it just as much as I did the first one. Cub by Paul Cosio. I've read this one already. I got an arc of it. It's a story about a young chef who I want to say he's 17. And he has a lot of body image issues. He's not very confident in his body and his looks and things like that. And he's going out for this big cooking competition where he would be able to win an apprenticeship at his favorite restaurant with one of his biggest celebrity chefs that he absolutely loves. And throughout this contest, he is getting some interest from one of the people who's running the contest, who's an older male, and that man's husband. And it's very interesting, is what I can say. I was on my most anticipated releases list, and I'm glad that I read it. But I need to do a review of it because it's interesting, is what I'll say. Bloom by Kevin Panetta is already out as well. It just had its debut yesterday, I want to say. I feel like this is a graphic novel. If I'm mistaken, I might be. And it's about a boy who works for his dad's bakery, I believe. And he does not want to be doing this for the rest of his life. He wants to get out of that town. And when his dad starts to hire on someone new there who could possibly replace him, he starts to gain feelings for that boy. And I am so here for it. I want to read it as soon as I possibly can. It looks really cute, and I'm just very, very about it. Death Prefers Blonde, Caleb Roerig. I love Caleb Roerig. I don't know if I expressed my love for Caleb Roerig enough on this channel. Last Thing Leaving was one of my favorite books. I'm very excited to be reading something from him that's in a very different vein, like a queer Hamlet-esque thriller with drag queens and a socialite robber. Like, this is very different than his other books, Last Thing Leaving and White Rabbit, and I'm very, very, very much about it. I actually have this one on hold as well, so hopefully I'll be able to read it in the next upcoming month. That'd be really great. But I can't wait for this one at all. I'm super excited for it. The Love and Lies of Rukhsana Ali. I know a lot of people are really excited for this book. It came out yesterday. This is a book about a Muslim girl who is a lesbian, I believe, and she's hiding it from her family, but when her family finds out about her girlfriend, they send her off and try to get her into this arranged marriage type of situation. I'm really intrigued by it. This is two identities that don't intersect enough in queer fiction, and I'm excited to read this when I get a chance to. Hopefully I will actually have seen a lot of people's reviews of this one before I actually get to it. But yeah, this should be really interesting. I want to see what the opinions are across the board on this one. The music of What Happens is by Bill Collingsburg. He is the writer of the Openly Straight books, and that's pretty much why this one got thrown into my list. I read the description and I was like, this seems interesting, but really it's that I want to read something by Bill Collingsburg that's not Openly Straight or Honestly Ben, because I haven't read anything by him that's not those in that duology and that set. So I'm really intrigued by this. It also just looks like a really interesting contemporary following two gay teens, and we're going to see how much drama he throws into this, because I know him and he will, and I'm kind of excited for it. This looks like it might be even a little bit darker than Openly Straight and Honestly Ben, but hopefully still has those kind of comedic elements that I love from Bill Collingsburg in there as well. I'm excited for this. Alright, we're going to do a double, even though they're coming out at different times. The Backstager and the Theater of the Ancients is the second middle grade book for the Backstagers comic by Andy Mantes. Not the comic, but the books are going to be by Andy Mantes. I have the first book sitting over there. Haven't read it yet, but I'm super excited for it. The Backstagers is one of my favorite comics of all time. Absolutely loved it. Super queer fantasy, super queer cast, black gay main character. I was very here for these comics. Super excited that they were supposed to be done at Volume 2, and we're now getting a Volume 3 this year. So both Volume 3 of the comic and the second middle grade book based off the comics are going to be on my list this year. I'm really excited to read both of them, and cannot wait till I have them, honestly. I'm super excited. Perfect Assassin is a book I found out because of someone I've already followed on Twitter, which is awesome. Love this author, and it's super queer. It's about assassins, and someone's died, and someone, I think an assassin gets murdered, or someone in the ranks gets killed, or someone's trying to blame the assassins for a certain death, and our main character's trying to figure out who really is the culprit. And I am so about this. I've wanted a queer kind of fantasy action that like intrigued me to be on this list this year, and I did not think there was going to be one, and I'm super excited that I found one that's coming out this year, because I need to read more. I did not read a lot of fantasy last year. I used to be such a big fantasy reader, and I completely dropped off in the last couple of years, and I don't know why, but I'm excited for this one a lot. You Guys Are Perfect is a book by Laura Silverman. This piqued my interest because, like, this is a senior in high school who's trying to juggle all these things. He probably has a lot of pressure that he's putting on himself, maybe also from his family, and then throw in this potential relationship with someone who he used to hate. This guy who starts to tutor him is, I'm assuming there's going to be something romantic there, and it's someone who he used to not be able to stand, and I'm very here for a lot of these tropes, but also just showing a teen character who is juggling too much on the shoulder and trying to figure out how to deal with all those different pressures. I'm very, very here for that. Probably going to be a bit relatable, so I'm very, very excited for this story. Also love the cover. How Not to Ask a Boy to Prom. So after a ridiculously failed promposal, our main character, Nolan, I want to say his name is Nolan. Oh god, it's a Nolan. I'm not going to be able to read a Nolan, but we're going to do it. Our main character, Nolan, ends up picking up a fake date to prom with Bad Boy Bird. And I love fake date plots. I don't care how they go. I love fake dating tropes. That is a trope that I love and will just, yes, It makes, yes, I can't. I love a fake dating trope. And also it seems like there's going to be some jealousy from Burn's ex-girlfriend. Maybe that's why Burn is going to fake date this boy to prom or something like that. I don't know. I'm like here for queer fake dating trope and proms and teenagers, and I'm about it. So I am here for this story. Yeah. Her Royal Highness. Yay! This is about two girls who are rooming, a girl who ends up rooming with this other girl, I believe, at a boarding school, and it turns out that girl is a princess. Like a literal princess. I am here for it. I love it. I love that, like, secretly, like, it's relationship stars, but, like, also their royalty, and, like, also, like, I don't know. I just love that, except gay, and that's so much better. So I'm very, very here for it. Keep This to Yourself is a book that I have an arc of. This is a book about a guy whose best friend, one of his best friends, was murdered by a serial killer the year before. Our main character decides that he needs to investigate, even though the police have stopped looking for the serial killer who hasn't killed in over a year. He starts to investigate and try to figure out who the killer is. And so, super thriller, super gay. The main character's gay, and also there's a romance with someone who I believe who's going to be helping him with the investigation, and I'm very intrigued. I haven't met the main character as of the 3 chapters that I've read. The second character, the romance interest, as in the first like couple chapters. I haven't met him yet, so I'm intrigued to see who that's going to be. I'm intrigued to see how this is going to go. This could either be like a last scene leaving, or it could be a 3 truths and a lie and flop. But I want it to be a last scene leaving for me and just absolutely love it. So hopefully it will be. I'm excited to read the rest of it. Some of you didn't watch Carmilla, and it shows. That's all I'm going to say. Carmilla is an amazing web series that me and my sister watch. We used to watch a lot of web series together, especially queer ones. And it had vampires and lesbians, and it was fantastic. I still haven't seen the movie, which is a shame. I don't know where to look for it. I've been looking for it. I think I looked for it and I couldn't find it on like Netflix or anything like that because not on any of that. But I gotta find it and I'll watch it. But it's a fantastic web series. I'm sure the movie was amazing. And now there's a novelization. What more can we ask for? I love novelizations of things I already love. Let's do it. I wish you all the best. I love Mason. I love Mason so much. They are fantastic. And this book is going to be amazing. This book is about a non-binary main character and it's romance, and it's going to be cute, I'm sure. And I cannot wait for it. The cover is fucking fantastic. What else is there to say? Go pre-order the book right now. Honestly, you should go do it. It's going to be amazing. Look at that link for below. Read what this book is about, and then go pre-order it. Right now. Right now. Do it. Missing Presumed Dead is a paranormal book with lesbians. Yes, the main character has the power to see how someone's going to die when she touches them. And she's not able to stop one girl's death, but then that ghost comes back to her. And she starts to try to help this girl figure out who her killer was. And it's helping her investigate her. She's helping this ghost. When she talks to the ghost, she can touch the ghost because you don't have to worry about like seeing their death because they're already dead. So she's able to build this connection with her, and there's a romance between her and the ghost. But like also she needs to help this ghost be able to move on. It's gonna be like a little drama, like I want to help you, but I also don't want you to leave, kind of thing. I'm sure. I'm super excited for it. I was looking for like a cool queer paranormal thing for this year, and this one is definitely the one that popped out the most to me. Very interested in it for sure. Our Dreams at Dusk by Volume 1 by Kamatani Yuki. This is a manga. This is Volume 1, first of all, which means I hope there's more volumes. I know it's about following a gay character who is closeted and trying to deal with some of his internal issues there, but also he meets a group of people who also have similar backgrounds and like issues that he has. So it's about like a queer group. A queer guy finding a queer group of people and being able to accept himself and coming of age and all these different things like that. And I'm very, very here for it. I hope I absolutely love this when it comes out, because I would also love for there to be more volumes of it. If there is going to be more after that, that'd be really great. But this looks really interesting to me. When I don't know who pointed this out to me. Someone pointed this out to me when I was first looking up queer books for this year, and I was just like, oh my god, yes. That is something I need, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm really, this seems really interesting, and I'm very, very here for it. If It Makes You Happy by Claire Can. Now, another amazing cover by Claire Can. I am about these covers. Claire Can was the writer of Let's Talk About Love, which I am reading next month. I'm doing it finally. I'm sorry, I'm a mess. But yeah, super excited for this book as well. This book seems really interesting. It's about the main character, Winnie, whose family owns a diner, and she's trying to save her family diner. Even though her grandmother doesn't want her to do some of the things that she's trying to do to save the diner, like entering a cooking competition, which she's going to try to do without her grandmother knowing. Mess. You in danger, girl. But like, that's what she's going to try and do to save her family's diner, which she wants to run one day. And I'm like, that's awesome. Super here for it. Queer character too, I'm pretty sure. Very, very down. Tell me how you really feel. Woo! That this cover gives me I Can't Think Straight vibes. I don't know why it does. It's nothing like I Can't Think Straight. This is like the lesbian rom-com that I want, is what I'm basically trying to say. I've been so excited for this since I've seen this cover and read the description, because I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, like all those lesbian rom-coms that are in your top 50 queer films that you still haven't finished yet? Because I need to finish that list. This reminds me of that, and I can't wait to read it. Like, I might end up buying this book. Y'all know I don't buy books. I do all my books in the library, but I might end up buying this book. It might happen. I feel like I need to own it. I feel like it will spark joy in my life, and I will want to put it on my shelf. So I really, 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 really need to read this book. So, yeah, I'm very here for it. Probably going to buy it. We'll see. Swipe Right for Murder. Literally know nothing about this except for that it's queer and looks like a mystery thriller. And the cover looks really freaking cool to me. And that's really all I want to know right now. I might learn more about it before a book comes out. But like, if I just knew only that, that'd be enough for me to pick up this book. So I'm intrigued. I want to read it. Hope we'll get to it this year. Hopefully I won't get spoiled for anything when it comes out, because I'm going to see if my library will have it. I don't know if my library will, y'all, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, we're going to see if I can get to that one when it comes out, because I'm just very intrigued. Maybe I would love to read it around September, October, thriller season for me, but we'll see. Of Ice and Shadows is the sequel, the long-awaited sequel, not that long, I'm just a mess, of A Fire and Stars, which I really enjoyed. A Fire and Stars. I liked the characters, I liked their journey that they were going on, but I definitely felt at the end of A Fire and Stars that I felt like, oh, that's it. And that's probably because there is that sequel coming, and hopefully the sequel doesn't give me that same kind of feel at the end of it. Hopefully we get more story and I get more of their connection now that they are together. In this second book. I'm excited for it. It's going to be interesting, and I want to see the main character's powers flourish more, and we'll see how this goes. Pisces Hooks Taurus is a book that I do have already. I have an arc of it. I did not realize it came out so far away. I thought it came out a lot sooner, because I'm already about 30% through the story. But it's the fourth story in the Zodiac series by Anita Sunday, and I really love her first book, Leo Loves Aries, which I read because of RC over at Neck with the Book Lock. Really enjoyed that story, and now I'm continuing to read the stories in the series. I definitely want to read the other two stories as well. I think the one's like Scorpio Hates Something, or something, someone or other, and there's like one other book. But Pisces Hooks Taurus so far is really good. A Summer Soundtrack for Falling in Love by Art and Powell. It's an MM romance about a guy named Chris Golding who is leaving Kansas for New York to a fresh start. And it takes a while for him to get his big break, but he finally meets this guy named Rain Boxey, who's an international rock star with the band The Choke Cherries. And they need a new guitarist real quick because something happens. And Chris gets this big break with the band. And then he starts to question his sexuality when Rain, who wears makeup and glitter and thinks nothing about like kissing Chris in front of 1,000 screaming fans just for like attention, kisses him, and now he gets like his big gay panic basically. He's like, oh god, am I bisexual? What's going on? So I'm really excited for this. I was like, I love band stories, music, gay, and romance. I'm very, very interested in this story. Yeah, the cover looks really cool. I was like, okay, this kind of one, like I feel like I'm getting like a concert vibe. I'm probably going to be listening to some, I don't know what band I'm going to be listening to while I read this, but I know I'm going to be listening to some of my favorite bands from high school probably. Like, this is going to be such a vibe, and I'm so ready for it. I'm throwing Runaways Volume 2 in here because it's coming out in individual issues, and I think the first one already may have come out. But this is the Rainbow Rowell run, and I actually really did enjoy the first volume of Rainbow Rowell's run of The Runaways. I think some people have been trashing it, and I'm like, it's not that bad. She's keeping to the heart of the characters for the most part. I think there's one thing she could do that would upset the fuck out of me, and I think she's gonna do it. But still, I'm excited for the series. I like what she's doing with what she did with Gert and Chase and Molly and a lot of the characters thus far. She's not ignoring things that are canon. She's more of just fixing things to the way that she would want them. It's like if Rainbow Rowell was a fan of the series and was writing fan fiction, she to fix some things. That's what she did in this first volume, and I'm okay with her fixing some things that may have happened in the old Runaways comics. I don't know. I'm trying to say what she did without spoiling it, but I'm happy with it, is what I'm trying to say. The Tyrant's Tomb! The Tyrant's Tomb by Rick Riordan. Is anyone surprised I have Uncle Rick on this list at all? I literally have my Camp Pamphlet sweater sitting over there, and I'm probably going to put it back on after this video. So, The Tyrant's Tomb is the fourth book in the Hidden Oracle. Super excited for this because of the events of Book 3. Book 3 raised the stakes. There were deaths that I was not expecting that were devastating and hurt me. And I know Book 4 we're going to get some people react to those deaths. There's people who don't know, who are close to that character, and we're going to get to see grief, we're going to get to see anger, but then we're also get to see a war, because this is what we're coming into. Camp Jupiter is about to be under attack. It's about to be fully under attack by Nero and his people, and y'all. And we're going to get to see some characters that I love. I hope I get to see Nico in this book. I hope I get to see Reyna in this book. There's a lot of characters that I hope I get to see. And I also hope survive. I swear, if Rick, I feel like Rick's going to kill someone else off again. There's been, like, that death happened, and they were like, this is not the end. And I was like, Uncle Rick, do not spread me to pieces in every one of the books left in this series, please. I don't need that. Hey, babe. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I will probably be reading it this year. I kind of fell behind on the books until recently. I just recently read the third book, which is why I'm still reeling from the definite. And there are certain characters that Rick might kill, which would make sense, and I'd be very sad about it. But we'll see if that happens in this upcoming book. I hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, I'm super excited for the Tyrant's Tomb. So, How Do You Read Me, Cameron is Julian Winter's second book. I love Julian Winter's debut, Running with Lions. It was in my top 5 books of the year, and I'm super excited to read for this upcoming book from him, which seems like has a really interesting premise. It's about a really confident out guy that everyone knows on campus who doesn't really know himself that well, and when he has to write an essay about himself, he goes on a very interesting journey to try to reconcile the labels that people have attached to him and to get to know who he actually is. And I'm like, that just sounds like an awesome concept that I'm very here for, especially with Julian Winter's writing, which is very light and fresh. Like, I loved his conversational style in his last book. And so I'm very interested to see how this one's going to go. These Witches Don't Burn is the last book on this list, and it's about a girl named Hannah who is an elemental witch who controls the elements water, fire, earth, air. And she and her ex-girlfriend have to start an investigation to figure out who is causing, who's doing some sacrifices or some kind of dark magic. Because it looks like it's going to get blamed on her cousin, but her and her ex-girlfriend are going to try to figure out who's actually doing it. And I was here just for the witches and the concept of their magic. I love elemental magic. I'm like, a main character with elemental magic will be really interesting to follow. And then lesbians, and I'm so here for that. I'm here to see, I'm sure her and her ex-girlfriend are going to have, the thing going back and forth between them, and that's going to be real interesting in the story. I don't know if there's another love interest separate from the ex-girlfriend, but I'm just very about, all the tropes I'm kind of seeing form here, and being surrounded by witches. You guys know I love witch books. I'm currently writing one. So yeah, I'm very here for the story. Alright, that is it for my list of most anticipated books, but there are so many other queer books coming out this year. I just didn't want this video to be an hour long, honestly. There was, I literally have several other books that I could be talking about on this. And I'm going to link the Goodreads link to some of the books, that has, over 100-something books that have, queer elements that are coming out this year. I'm going to see if I can find that link, and I'll put that down below, because that's one of the places that I looked for books when I was starting here. I didn't mention a lot of comics, because it's kind of interesting to look for comics in this field, because sometimes you don't know things are coming out until it comes to, a few months before. And also, I keep finding out about some that, I didn't know about, so maybe I don't even look in the best places for my queer comics when they're coming up. I usually don't know them until they're out. But there are some great queer comics coming out this year as well, if you guys want to look into that. But yeah, this is my list. I'm going to be checking out several other lists. I know some other people who do a most anticipated queer list video. If any of them are up already, I'll link theirs as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the list and go check out some of these awesome books, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.